This is the replacement for a car that you may have heard of but quite possibly never seen. The Infiniti Q37 Coupe, a quietly handsome V6-powered car of surprising potency, is one of the rarer Infinitis in this country. Since that descriptor applies to all of them bar the new UK-built Q30 and QX30 crossovers, chances are that you may never have seen one coming the other way. The Q60 that replaces it may face a similar fate, although, like its predecessor, it deserves a wider audience. This all-new coupe may win more attention by promising useful improvement in almost every direction, and Infiniti's gradually rising presence, not least through the Q30, should also help its case. The Q60 certainly has the content to attract buyers of compact, classy and smoothly swift coupes, although the competition is pretty fearsome, coming from the BMW 4 Series, Mercedes-Benz E-Class Coupe and a renewed Audi A5. It's propelled by either a 205 bhp 2.0-liter turbo or a 400 bhp 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6, the bigger engine coming from the new VR family that replaces Nissan's highly regarded VX motor, as used by the 370Z among others. The 2.0-liter powers the rear wheels only, whereas the 3.0T tested here propels all four wheels, the rear axle potentially receiving up to all of the engine's torque in the quest for agile handling. Both models get a BMW-style drive selector, ranging through Snow, Eco, Standard, Sport and Sport Plus modes, and the V6 model also has adjustable electronic dampers, labeled dynamic digital suspension and Infiniti Speak. Both versions provide Infiniti's controversial direct adaptive steering, whose odd tactile character undermines the Q50 saloon. The good news is that the Q60 system comes in second-generation form, while still allowing choice. In combination with the standard, Sport or Sport Plus driving modes, you can overlay default, dynamic and dynamic plus steering response modes via the infotainment screen. The steering system is claimed to react more quickly than a mechanical system, adjusting itself up to 1,000 times a second. Further technical flourishes include an active shutter radiator grille and narrower door mirrors that also direct air along the car's deeply sculpted flanks, although this Infiniti's 0.28 CD is not so remarkable these days. Those deeply sculpted flanks are part of a restyle that includes a decidedly more emphatic grille, and Infiniti's trademark crescent-cut side window to D-pillar trim is also harder to miss. Arch-filling 19-in rims come as standard and are upgradable to 20 inches. The interior has been modernized, too, with the center console presenting two stacked screens, the lower panel finger-triggered. The screens provide plenty, including an around-view monitor, Infiniti and Touch concierge services and endless programming and information choices, from steering modes and 3 flash lane changing to weather forecasts and the stock market status. Surprisingly, given Infiniti's love for the technical, the instruments are conventional rather than configurable virtual dials, although the main pair are ringed with crescent-cut aluminium circles. The modernization also includes an obvious upgrade in material quality for this subtly stylish, more swoopy cabin. It doesn't take long to discover that 6 cylinders, twin turbos and 4-wheel drive equal quick. This is a 5.0 seconds to 62 miles per hour car and one that could easily broach its 155 miles per hour limiter. The 7-speed automatic gearbox does a good job of masking the V6's slightly indolent sub-1,500 revolutions per minute work rate. A very solid surge of melodic thrust rapidly emerges and without much disturbing the tires purchase on the road below, on dry days at least. Sink the throttle completely and the crank will soon close on 7,000 revolutions per minute, the limiter's arrival foretold by now more mechanical soundtrack. The transmission is adaptive and gives itself a hurry up if you select Sport or Sport Plus, and again if it detects an ambitious driving style. It's a shame that it has been substantially tuned for refinement because the sometimes delayed shifts are at frustrating odds with the engine's eagerness. Paddle shifting helps, but not completely. The Q60's chassis is quietly keen, too. Secure, decently supple and pointable, it allows you to attack bends with satisfyingly bold commitment, and with steering gear that's a whole lot more helpful than you'll find in the Q50. The weighting's pretty good and it's precise and quick without being flighty. For bend bashing, it's best in Dynamic Plus, where there is less slack around the center point, but in truth the difference between these modes is relatively slight. And it can still feel slightly glutinous. But never mind. The Q60 is pretty entertaining along a snake of tarmac, decidedly swift and civilized with it. Civility is what it does particularly well, in fact. This coupe is quiet and very comfortable, its cabin ambience is of fairly high quality, and it's very well equipped. On most roads, the ride is good, too. This is more GT than sports coupe, and it plays the role well. 4 can enjoy it as well. The back seats are unexpectedly capacious for a coupe, although the tall will find their heads touching a rear screen that will also broil them in summer. If you want something that isn't a 4 Series, an A5 or a Benz coupe, this car is worth a look, and not because it's almost the only alternative. It's quick, fairly engaging, well-finished, generously equipped and refined. It's also a more satisfying drive than the outgoing A5 and feels more eager than a Mercedes. But the transmission and needlessly complicated steering underline the more poised abilities of the 4 Series.